There are now 30 states that have treatment centers, and one of the pioneers of behavioral therapy is Dr. Valerie Lorenz. She's based in Baltimore.
Compulsive gamblers typically are intellectual people. They think with their heads on the outside world. They do very little introspection. So when they come here for treatment, they will say, I come here because I have so many debts, I need help with solving my financial problems. They don't even connect the gambling with the fact that the wife had an affair, or the fact that they were just diagnosed with cancer or some other kind of major emotional trauma. They don't make that connection. So they see it initially only as a financial problem. Of course, once they're in treatment, then they get a much greater awareness of who they are and what they're all about. They've never stopped to think or to feel.
How my life changed after the first session was that I went back for a second session, and that's the key, I think, is that whenever anyone is talking to a problem gambler or compulsive gambler, that they want to come back a second time. And I did want to come back a second time. I wanted to learn more about what was happening to me. I wanted to learn more about me. And that made me feel better about me. It made it just a little bit easier for me to deal with the fact that I had done what I had done. And maybe I wasn't totally responsible for everything that I did.
Behavioral therapy is one approach to dealing with compulsive gambling. But science is now looking into the possibility of drug therapy to complement these existing forms of treatment.
The good news is that a very large percentage of these patients with very severe pathological gambling problems may have substantial benefit from targeted medication treatments. We believe that medication should be a very important component of the overall treatment approach, which may also include psychosocial or cognitive or behavioral treatments to get these people to unlearn some of the bad habits.
Well, how did that play out this week? Because I assume you still had some urges to gamble. You were thinking about the gambling,
and develop other behaviors that are more healthy in response to their thoughts and urges. And we also believe that self-help groups like Gamblers Anonymous may play an important role in the overall treatment package.
Gamblers Anonymous and other self-help groups are found in every major city in the U.S. With compulsive gambling now out of the closet, increased awareness has resulted in a mounting crisis. The numbers of those needing treatment are growing daily. For those lucky enough to receive help, it's a never-ending process.
It's step by step, and it's one day at a time, and it's getting my life back, and I have to keep it there. I have to keep it that this is what I'm doing for today. And every day I choose, when I wake up in the morning, that I won't gamble today. It's my choice, and I need that. I need that for me, that I know that it's my choice, and my choice is to not gamble today. But I will also say that I am very thankful at the end of the day that I made that choice and that I didn't gamble.
Some compulsive gamblers deal with their condition head-on. Carol gave up her job and now runs an information and counseling service based in Las Vegas. Here she helps raise funds to carry on the work of treating those individuals that have fallen under the gambling spell, as she once did herself.
There were many factors that brought me to the point of having a gambling addiction. There was no one thing. My addiction wasn't living in the poker machine waiting to attack me, nor was it something as simple as just saying there's something different in my brain. It was a combination of many things. The best understanding I think that we have today about what is gambling addiction is that it is a combination of factors. All addictions are a combination of factors.
What is his number?
32.
Ironically, Nevada is the one state in the U.S. that does not fund any treatment program, although many of its casinos do contribute money.
When you look at the history of gambling and legalized gambling in the United States, there have been sort of peaks and valleys over and over again. So there are times in our society, like now, when the society really encourages gambling as an important source of tax revenues. My feeling, though, is that with increased access to legal forms of gambling, those individuals who are genetically or biologically vulnerable are at increased risk for developing problems. And so I feel very strongly that a small percentage of the profits associated with legal forms of gambling should be recycled back into either treatment programs or prevention programs, or back into research for us to understand better what makes people vulnerable, how to predict those vulnerabilities, and then how to treat individuals who've gone on to develop pathological problems.
In 1988, there were only 2 states where gambling was permitted. Now it's legal in 38. Over 95% of the population have a casino in their state. But the real danger for the future comes from the internet. With 1,800 sites already open, it is the fastest growing form of gambling in the world. An epidemic of compulsive gambling is being forecast. Drug therapies may be on the way, but it is those self-help groups which will remain the cornerstone of any treatment.
I would never say that I'm cured. I would say, if anyone ever asked me that I'm a compulsive gambler, I choose to say that I'm a compulsive gambler in recovery.
I was mentally, physically, emotionally bankrupt. The only thing I had left was to go home and take that bottle of pills. So for me, it was a pretty easy decision. I'm willing to do whatever these people tell me will work. And fortunately, these people were people just like me, but who hadn't gambled in periods of time, ranging from 1 day to 20 years. And I had to believe, if these people can do what they're doing and live their lives and be happy, and they're not gambling, and they're living in Las Vegas too, it's worth a try. It was definitely worth a try.
I think the best part of it for me was knowing that someone understood, knowing that when I walked out of his office that first night, it was like, I just felt like I could walk on air. I was just so elated and so, I'm gonna get help. And we talk about things that led me to my gambling, the loneliness, the anger, a lot of issues going on in my life that I didn't want to deal with. Fortunately, now I turned 40 and I'm gamble free, but just things, emotions and stuff that I didn't know were going on that were making me go there. He's helping me to see them, and he's helping me to live life on life's terms. I mean, I don't wake up every morning like Mary Sunshine and every day isn't perfect, but I know how to deal with my anger and my disappointments and my sadness and my things that go on in life. I'm dealing with them. I'm not running from them.
I had a sizable retirement account, and over a period of about 4 years, it was gone. Not until it was gone did I realize that there was a problem. The problem is not me dropping quarters in a machine. The problem is me not wanting to deal with Roger and finding any means necessary to destroy myself. And what I had to do was work on me and make changes in me. And when I make changes in me for the better, life seems to be pretty good.
Out of the $60 billion profit made each year by the gambling industry, only a minuscule amount ever finds its way back to treatment for compulsive gamblers. With the further relaxation of controls and the rise of internet gambling, more and more people are at risk. Yet there is still no safety net for those who become damaged. This hidden time bomb of compulsive gambling could be set to explode with devastating consequences.